Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our guests, NFL draft prospect from the University of Boston College, safety, Jaiden Woodbey. How's it going, bro?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing great, man. This is your time to shine, man.
Yeah, no, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for this whole process.
Must be an exciting process, man, just to come from Fontana, California, man. What was that journey like when you first started playing football, man?
I mean, it was, a typical journey, man, just in the sense of, a kid trying to find a sport that he loves. My parents, they had me play offensive line my first year, so I can get a little tough. And then after that, started to get into the skill positions. And then after, a year or two, once I realized I was really good, then we started going to, better and better, little league teams. And then eventually, the road to, achieving my goals began, probably around maybe 10 or 11. That's when I realized I was really good and my parents did as well. So, they started having me go, to other cities where, all of the top players play. And then, it, it took off from there.
Yeah, you attended at Saint. I don't know what the name of the school was, but it was one of the best programs.
Yeah, St. John Bosco.
Yeah, there you go. St. John Bosco, man. One of the best programs by far. I think they won the state championship against Sierra High School.
Yeah, yeah. They won last year.
Yeah. How do you go from beating Tom Brady's high school?
I know, man. That was crazy, but I mean, that's what you expect at that school. We won, I think, 3 state championships and 2 national championships within 10 years. Not everybody can say that they've done that, and we only get kids from Southern California. Unlike some other schools that we know of. So
A
it just shows the talent that we have down there.
lot of the talent usually comes from Southern California most of the time. So you get a lot of those guys out there. But
Yeah.
what led you to go to Florida State?
I mean, honestly, it didn't really matter what school I went to. At the time, that was one of my brother's favorite schools. So I just went just because, that was his favorite school. I really didn't care what school I went to. As long as I went to a school that was going to let me compete. And, that was a big name school at the time. You know, um, that was a major reason why I went.
Was there like any other offers besides Florida State?
Oh, yeah. I think I had every offer except Clemson. I didn't have a Clemson offer, but I had almost every other offer.
So Oklahoma threw an offer or nah?
Yeah, Oklahoma, they did. Actually, I was supposed to take an official visit there and do all of that stuff, but we ended up going to Ohio State official visit first.
Interesting. So you had an interest visit from Ohio State, but I guess sometimes when you have more interest, it starts to open up the interest, and it led you to Florida State.
Yeah, so like I was actually committed to Ohio State for like 2 years, and then I flipped to Florida State on signing day. Yeah,
Man,
so
Ohio State knows how to develop some DBs, so it's like,
yeah,
but you can't go wrong with Florida State also. But
yeah.
what was the experience like when you went to Florida State?
I mean, it was different, me being from Southern California, and South Florida, which was primarily what Florida State was filled with. Those athletes, they're good athletes as well. And, California, Florida, we definitely have a rivalry. So when I got there, it wasn't the easiest road. I got into a lot of fights. Um, yeah, I got into a good amount of fights, but I earned the respect of everybody, and then I ended up becoming a starter as a true freshman, which was only what 9 other people ever did at Florida State. So I think I made my mark when I was there.
I mean, most freshmen are either red shirts, so usually they take a full year to learn more. But I guess you were just ahead of the curve, and you made your presence felt.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so what led you to transfer to Boston College?
It was really just a culmination of things, man. Just injuries, coaching change, position changes. Like looking back on it, it helped me become the player that I am now, just being versatile and be able to just, withstand all types of adversity. So, my freshman year when I was at Florida State, I was a freshman All American playing outside linebacker nickel, a spot that I've never played before. So, I did that. And then my sophomore year, they had me play Mike and had me play Will, which I've never played before. And then I got hurt. And then the following year, we had a new coaching staff, And then I had to play a whole new position as well. Moved me back to safety under a new coaching staff. Had to get the respect of them. And then, I played safety that year. Started all 3 years as well. And then, I really just wanted, just a change of environment from my injuries, from my coaching changes, and from my position changes. And then I went to Boston College, mainly because of Coach Hafley. He actually coached for the 49ers, as you know, and great NFL coach. So, I just wanted to go there and just learn as much as I can from him before I, reach the next level. So, went there. Then they had me play a hybrid role, which is like a strong safety outside linebacker. And also just learning from under all of those NFL guys that are there, it was a no-brainer why I went there. I didn't look at the name of the school. I looked at the people who were there who could provide for me and help me, reach the next level.
It's all about connections. It's not about the big name, and it's about getting the opportunity. So you go from Florida State, which was a good program for you, but it had to be for the better. Sometimes leaving a program is not always a bad thing because you always want to have a fresh start. So
Yeah, definitely.
it wasn't like no harsh feelings. It was more like I needed to turn the page and play elsewhere.
Yeah, so like a lot of people think, when dudes transfer, they just get up and leave. Like one thing that I did, which probably the media won't even like recognize or know, like I went and sat down with every coach. Like I had a man-to-man conversation with all of them and told them what I was gonna do before I did it. And I sat down, had a conversation, told them, look, I appreciate everything that you're doing, but I feel like I need a new start, and I'm gonna graduate, get my degree, but I'm a graduate transfer. And I sat down with every coach on the defensive end, and they all understood it and they respected it too because I didn't just get up and leave. And, I talked to, faculty staff that was there as well because, I was heavily in the community at Florida State as well and involved in a whole bunch of things on campus and everything. So, it really just wasn't, I'm leaving football. Like I was leaving a family. I developed like a big family when I was there. So, it was definitely tough, but I knew that was something that I needed to do.
Yeah, it wasn't like you burned bridges or nothing. You were just talking to the coaches staff, letting them know how you feel, and that's how it
Yeah.
leads to a transfer, and they respect it. That's part of decision making. So you made a business decision, they respected it, and you went down that route. And like you said, you played different roles. Like you even played some linebacker, and then you played strong safety and other spots. So there's some versatility there. So
Yeah.
one of the things that stands out is your versatility, dude. I think you can play linebacker at the next level.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I definitely been working that too. So at my pro day, I'm gonna do linebacker and safety drills and everything. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be. So I've seen a couple of these little comments from my boy John Chapman, and you put a little bold prediction saying that the Niners are going to get you in the third round. You put it like confidence, man. You were like saying they're going to get me. Watch.
Yeah, man. Confidence is key, and it takes one team, one team to fall in love with you, one team to see something that not nobody else sees, So I'm just excited for it all.
Yeah. So you've worked out at different positions, and then looking at your visits, the Niners had you as a linebacker visit, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but it really doesn't matter what position you play at the next level. Like the back seven are all really interchangeable, just depending on what scheme you get into.
Oh yeah, doesn't it depends on what scheme you go on, but I think your hybrid world is more intriguing at the next level. So
Yeah.
here's a good question right here. So Jaiden Woodbey is a tackling machine. Whom did he model his game from? Like, if there's a player he modeled from, like, what was the guy that you looked up to and you wanted to model your game after?
So the three people that I look at in the league that I model my game after, the first is Matt Milano. He was a safety converted linebacker. Just his in the box play and just who he is as an athlete. Somebody I model my game after. The second person was Kevin Beard, versatile, strong safety. Probably one of the best safeties in the league right now as we speak. And then the third is Quincy Williams. He was a safety linebacker hybrid as well, coming out of college. He went to a smaller school, but he ended up going third round and went to the Jaguars for a little bit, and now he's on the Jets doing everything they need to do.
I mean, that's good to look up to. I mean, Matt Milano is one of those most underrated linebackers in the NFL. He played at
Yeah,
Boston College, and he had a really good. He's still one of their best linebackers at this
yeah,
point. But like, yeah, dude, it's just intriguing. There's going to be a role for you. So they're
yeah,
always saying versatility is the most important spot at the next level. So whether you
yeah,
play strong safety or linebacker, it doesn't matter where they put you because you're going to excel at it.
yeah, for sure.
So what's one of your best traits, like as a safety and a strong safety? What do you do well at?
I think that I move very, very well, and I'm very instinctual. Very, very instinctual. I think that when you look at my tape, it might be like boring, but the plays that are boring, those are the plays that need to be made. Like a lot of people don't appreciate a free safety until they don't have somebody back there that makes all of those tackles. So like me coming up, setting the edge, making tackles in the flats, being able to cover my zone well, being able to cover tight ends and running backs out of the backfield 24/7. All of those things. It's like that I feel like that's what separates me, and that's what will attract a lot of teams to me.
Yeah, it's not about making flashy plays; it's about getting the job done. So covering tight ends and running backs is something that most safeties like to do. They can cover
Yeah,
different lengths of the fields, and strong safeties are more in the box. So you definitely match up well against certain tight ends for sure.
yeah, yeah.
So when you look back at your career, man, is there like one thing that you feel like you left behind, or you feel like your desire to go on more, man?
The only thing that I do wish is I played in a bowl game. The 2 years that we went to a bowl game, my first one I was injured, so I couldn't even play, and then the second one, it got canceled the day of because of COVID. We had
Oh,
like 60 dudes pop, so it was over.
man, COVID was one of those awkward years. What was that like experiencing that COVID year?
Man, it was weird. It was really like 2 years, 2020 and 2021. 2020 was weird. We got tested at least like 4 times a week. Like it was crazy. If you didn't have a mask on around campus, like you couldn't get into your classroom. If you didn't take your COVID test, they deactivated your account. Throughout campus. That was at Florida State and at Boston College. So it was definitely different. Like it was very different. Like our workout groups were different. Like we had to work out at like 4 or 5 people at a time throughout the whole day. So it was interesting.
Yeah, the weird thing about COVID was the gym. Like they had separate people there, and they even decided to make an outside gym. I'm like,
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then when you think about it, man, it's like, man, this COVID was just a tough time, and it just made everybody just divided a little bit.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people definitely got divided.
Oh, here's a really good question for you, man. So, which is one of your most memorable in Boston College that you look at?
My most memorable game. Mm, I have three. So the first one would be Louisville last year. Even though we lost, I had a pick and a fumble recovery and like 8 tackles and like 2 TFLs. So it was like I had a really good game. And then Georgia Tech that same year, 2021, I had the game winning interception. Like that was probably a moment I'll never forget. And then this year when we played Wake Forest, I was just like a tackling machine that game. I had like 15 tackles, but they only accounted me for like 13 or something. But it was a fun game, just sticking my nose in there 24/7.
Maybe that's why they look at you as a linebacker because you're a tackling machine. So that explains right there. I mean, strong safeties have that hybrid role. And what they do really good at is they can cover at times and just have that instinct, like you said. So for
Yeah.
any other team, why should they draft you and why?
Mm, I mean, you're not only gonna get a good football player, you're gonna get a leader. Somebody who's gonna contribute day one. Reliable, versatile. I don't think people really understand how important being versatile is on the field. A lot of people say they can do it, but until they actually do it, until you actually play 4 or 5 positions in one series, you don't really know, and like for instance, there's plenty of games where I started off, in a deep post, first play. The next play, I'm on the line of scrimmage, blitzing off the edge. Third play, I'm in the box, playing linebacker. And then the fourth play is a running back or a tight end is wide out, so I got to go and cover him. And like that happened all within 4 or 5 plays. And the personnel on the offense changed at least 2 or 3 times, and the defense didn't make any subs. So it's the little things like that that an average fan won't really notice, but like real football people will understand. Like, dang, they have dudes out there that can just play every single position. Like, we don't have to worry about, all right, this is gonna be a mismatch. All right, we're gonna have to take this guy. We're gonna have to take this guy out. It's like, no, we can just stay on the field 24/7 and just adjust. So I bring that to whatever team draft me. I bring special team value as well. I have a touchdown on special teams. I have plenty of tackles on special teams. It's a third of the game. So, I'm willing to do it all. And, I feel like that's what's going to separate me at the next level.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, that's the most important role, because if they need you on the field more, they can just switch you around different sides, and that's the versatility spot of playing, because you can go from strong safety and then you can move up to linebacker on certain situations, and that's what teams don't understand. Like you said, fans in general, they don't understand what it's like to have versatile players that can do everything. So it's like coverage-wise, matchup-wise, everything just goes into play. And I guess from what Grandizer's saying, man, the way you're playing is kind of like a Jeremy Chin, man, that strong safety type guy, man. That dude's underrated.
Yeah, for sure.
So how many teams have you met during the offseason?
So like during the East-West Shrine game, I probably met with about like 15 teams. And then after everybody's pro day, so like everybody's pro day different. So once your pro day is over, then teams can start, doing formal interviews, NFL 30 visits, private workouts, things of that nature. So like my pro day is in 2 weeks. So after that, then I'll start to be able to meet with other teams. But as of right now, I'm just focused on, training and getting ready for my pro day.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's what you gotta do. You said in 2 weeks you gotta do some pro day stuff and all that stuff. And so what was the meeting like with the Niners?
It was cool. It was cool. Just they asked me a lot of questions. We had a lot of he had a lot of questions about how my week was going, because at the East West Shrine game I played middle linebacker. I was like the only person that didn't play my position on the West team. So it was different. But he was asking how that was going and everything, and then just asking how well I knew my scheme, how well I knew the scheme at Florida State, things of that nature. Just trying to see where I'm at in terms of my football knowledge and football smarts. And I think for this upcoming pro day, I know I have a formal interview with them as well.
Oh, that's good, man. That shows that they like your versatility, because you are a safety, but you were playing linebacker there. So I guess when I looked at the visits of all teams, you were listed as a linebacker under the Niners visit thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's intriguing. Oh, is there a nickname that you had on the football field?
In high school it was Thor. In college, everybody just called me J-Dub.
Oh, okay. That's Thor. That's a hitter right there.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, dude, it's just a nickname just comes with it, because you play the position and you come with that fire up J-Dub. Okay, I can see why you come up with that name, because it's like short for you in some ways. So the journey, man. It's some players that come out of college, man. Most of them stay loyal to the program, but for some reason, the transfer portal has been good for certain players that haven't had opportunities or probably wanted a fresh start. How does it feel from just in general, like the experience? Like, should any other player not feel disencouraged to leave a program even though they feel the need to?
I feel like there's always a certain way to go about things. I'm not a believer in just walking up and just leaving. I think that bridges definitely do not need to get burned. Like if people, look at my story and look at how I went about things, I think that was probably one of the better ways to do it. And also too, when it comes to transferring, it's not always because, I can't play, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. Like I had two players on my team at BC. One of them they transferred to a local school. It just so happened to be a big school, but they transferred there because their one of their parents was dying, and they didn't know when the last time they was going to be able to see their parent. And it was his last year of college coming up. So it was like he didn't leave because he wasn't playing. He played, but he left for that reason. And then another player, he just wanted to be close from home. Like he was literally homesick 24/7. Like he couldn't do it. Like he had to go home every week, and it was more cost effective for him to go to school by his house. So it's like people don't always leave because of playing time. People can leave because of that, but it could be other reasons as well. So I would say for people just to not look too far in advance, or not to overlook, why people transfer.
Yeah, I think it's just overrated for some people to think of it that way. I mean, there's other reasons, personal reasons, opportunity wise. There's just a lot of different reasons, and they can just come to the coaching staff and let them know why they want to leave.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, here's an interesting question right here. Does Jaiden Woodbey have an on-field hobbies, play music, art, or other sports or other?
Yeah, so I actually ran track in high school. I ran track, and then even when I was at FSU, I would train with the track coach. Uh, Off the field hobbies, I cook a lot. I'm a chef. I actually have a food page. I haven't posted on it in a while, but I cook almost every day. A lot of things are from scratch. It's like an art. Do I play music? I mean, I don't, but in high school I played the piano a little bit, and then I could play like two songs on the piano, but I don't play music.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you ran the track, huh? Do you run a good 40 time or not?
Well, we'll see in 2 weeks.
We'll see. Oh, that's the mystery. Man. I like the mystery question. Oh, that's
Yeah,
a spot on question right there. Yeah, but in all perspective, man. So for a guy who comes from Fontana, California, man, it has to be the journey, man. So what made you felt that you needed to declare for the draft this year?
I mean, I felt like I showed everything that I need to show, in order to prove I can play at the next level. Like I know I can be at that next level, and I know I can start for a team right away and contribute right away. So I feel like it was just my time to make my dreams come true.
Absolutely, man. So which team did you grow up watching as a fan? Were you just a fan of a team, or were you just a fan of the players?
I was a fan of the Raiders. I'm a
Oh,
Raiders
man.
fan.
Yeah, they had to be within the LA area, so that made sense.
Yeah, I was a fan of the Raiders. For some reason, my brother was a Patriots fan since like 2006. I have no idea why, but I mean, he's been a diehard Patriots fan. He has almost every jersey, all memorabilia. Like his whole room is decked out with like Patriots gear, like head to toe. Like my parents still to this day don't know why he gravitated towards them, but he liked the Patriots. I like the Raiders.
So what was it just like in the Boston environment? So what is it they're to do over there?
You got to go downtown in order to have some fun. They have a lot of other activities. Like I like to just try new things. So I think they have like this golf thing. It's not Top Golf, but it's like a mini golf. It's some type of mini golfing thing. But it's pretty cool. I did that towards the end of my college career. That was pretty fun, and just going on they have like a dock, or like it's not a beach, but they got like these nice areas where all these boats and stuff are. So like all those areas is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good, man. So what was the environment like when you went to Florida State, like in Tallahassee? What's there to do over there?
Oh man, that's a party town. That is a
Beach town
party
right
town.
there.
Yeah. Oof. If you like the party, you can go to Tallahassee. It's very fun. Probably if you want to have a good college experience in terms of like partying and good school, definitely go to FSU.
I can see why you didn't want to go to Ohio State, man, because it was a party out there. Yeah, I can see why. Party J-Dub, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's got to be like just to experience the difference. I mean, you go from those type of environments. It has to be fun to experience the difference out there.
Yeah, man. It was definitely a culture shock, going from California to Florida to Boston. But I feel like it just made me, more of a Renaissance man.
So yeah, it gives you the opportunity, man, because you went from all over the East Coast, so you can go with whatever direction you go to. So the draft, man, it's gonna be a fun ride, man. Hopefully, whoever drafts you, man, they're gonna get a baller. They're gonna get somebody who is going to get better. Like maybe they might want you at linebacker or stay at strong safety, whatever you prefer. But
Yeah.
down the road, man, I'm hoping that this team maybe take a chance on you or another team. Whoever drafts you is gonna get somebody good. So I'm rooting for you.
Man, I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, man. And I know it's got to be a fun experience, man. So come draft day, man, I'm definitely going to have to tag you. But for all those fans that are not too familiar with you, tell them where they can find you and tell them where the rest of your platform is, man.
Man, on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, even, it's all Jaiden Woodbey, JAIDENWODBEY.
Oh, that's good, man. Yeah. So, yeah, man, but looking forward to the draft, man. Wish you luck, man. I know we're definitely gonna have a good experience for you, man. So I gotta see what happens from this forward going on, bro. Because Jaiden Woodbey, bro, you're living the dream. You can say what you got to say, bro. Most players, most kids that grew up, they just wanted to play in the NFL for so long.
Yeah, man. Just want to play. Just want to live out that dream, and I'm right here. Less than like 2 months, I'll be at somebody's mini camp. So that's exciting.
Yeah, just imagine yourself as a kid, bro, just growing up in Fontana, California. When did you feel like this was when did you feel that I'm going to be able to play in the NFL one day?
Probably around like 11 or 12, probably around 11 or 12. That's when I realized I was like, man, I can really do this. I can really be like these guys.
Absolutely, man. Dude, it's just anything's possible. And plus, a guy that comes from within your city, man, Eric Weddle, he lives down that area.
Yeah.
Did you ever monitor your game after him a little bit?
No, I never really watched his game that much, but Ronnie Lott, he's actually from he's from the Inland Empire. Like he's from that area, so that's pretty cool too.
Man, it would just be nice just to get a tweet from Ronnie Lott saying congrats for getting drafted by this organization or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. That'll be cool.
Yeah, definitely, man. But thank you for your time, bro. Wish you the best of luck. Maybe down the road, if you have any extra free time at the draft day, if you want to, that's up to you. It's optional. But more than free to come on, bro. But for everybody else, bro, go check out Jaiden Woodbey from Boston College. Check out his Florida State highlight also. It's outstanding videos.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. For everybody else, have a great day and wish you the best of luck.